Hi, welcome you again to Learn GIS. I'm Sabir Ahamed again. We'll learn today how to build database and how to analyze those data for our research or for our education or for any purposes. Okay, so in this lecture we'll mainly cover database building from shapefile. That means we will see how we will build some data, how we'll build a database from shapefiles we have created in the last lecture. Okay, we will analyze the attributes table system and we will see the basic overview of SQL for query from table. SQL is the language by which we will analyze our data. And finally, we will interpretation technique. I will see the interpretation techniques from our tables. So these are the topics we will cover in this lecture. Okay, so how we will do this? Okay, let's start. Uh, we stopped in last lecture in this part, right? Okay, we created several boreholes files and several line features here, and in this lecture we want to build a database from this borehole. For example, I want to define each particular borehole name, its location, its various data. For example, in this borehole, we can uh, input data such as where is this formation, what is the depth of this formation, what is the depth of this formation, something like this. Okay, so how we can do this, or how we can uh, define this railway name or its length, or how many bridges, how many culverts it crosses, right? So we can build up this data. That's why we are working with geographic information system, and we are building a system. We are developing a system. Okay, so how we can do that? So if we right click, at first we will build some data for borehole. So if we right click here and open the open attribute table, then we will see that we have 29 borehole data. 28, so we started with 0, so total 29. So you want to add some columns here, for example the name of this borehole, for example the location of this borehole, for example its A formation depth, B formation depth, something like this. Many information you can store against this data, and we will see some other database. So how we can add some column here? So if we right click here the table options, then we will see the add field. Okay, add field. Sometimes we will see that add fields off. If if the editor if the editor is on, then we cannot we cannot add field, right? So we see the editing option is on and the add field option is off. So what we can do for getting this field on, we have to add first off. Okay, so we can now add field easily. Add field name. So for example, we can name the borehole. So this field option is column name would be the name column. Okay, there are several options. What type of data would be stored in this column? It may be a date, it may be text, it may be double, float, short integer, long integer. Text is any kind of name, date is the date, double, float, short integer, long integer is the numerical input, numerical value. For example, the depth of this borehole, for example, depth or any kind of numerical value represents the double. Okay, so we will select the text for this column, for this option. Okay, so option. Okay, so we are created the name and we can input this name. Okay, we're going to add another, we're going to another column, say depth dpts. So but depth definitely would be the numerical value. So in which option we will add? Short integer, long integer, float, double. Okay, we'll select the double. Why we'll select the double? Double is the type of numerical value representation type which represent plus, minus, decimal values, integer values, everything. So we will use this. Okay, so this represents the 0. Okay, so we want to input or we want to edit this. So for this reason, we have to start editing because we are going to edit this field. Start. Okay. Oh, sorry, I made a mistake. Editor. Editor. Edit. So we want to edit with this borehole. Okay, borehole data underline is here, so we can easily edit. For example, how you'll know, uh, where is this borehole? How you'll know this borehole part? Okay, don't worry, there are some options. For example, if you click here, then you can see where the borehole is. Where the borehole is, and if we projection, then you can easily identify what is the name of this borehole and what is geographic location. For example, this is a borehole named borehole 2. Okay, in same way you can identify what is this borehole. For example, this borehole 2. What is this? For example, this is the BS5. Okay, in the same way you can edit, you can add some data for each and every borehole data. And for example, if you want to add some depth, for example, you know the borehole location and you have some data. Okay, for example, this is 100-meter depth. Okay, uh, this one, what is this one? If we'll extend, then you will see this here. For example, it is 128. So this is the way how to make your database, how to input data. Okay, and you have to um, save this data. You have to save these edits. If you want to stop this, okay, stop. The same way we can do the for rail line. For example, open data and header is off. Okay, so we can add some field. For example, this is the name. Oh, it shows my laptop charge has only 10%. Okay, let's see. Name, this will be the text. Okay, name. And I also want to measure its length. Field data, length of the line. Sorry, GTS length. We'll say select the double. Okay, double. For example, what is this line? For example, this is the edit. We have to start edit. Line. Yes. Say A line. Okay. For example, this one B line. This one C line. Okay. Okay. So you want to if you want to measure its length, we have to definitely we have to know what is length. But ArcGIS can do that for us easily. Really, it's true. Okay, if you want to measure its length, then you have to calculate its geometry. Then if you right click here, then you will find the calculate geometry. Then you will find the length. You do not have to do that. So if you want to find its length in meter, kilometer, in which unit you want to prefer, it's up to you. Okay, let's select the unit kilometer. You'll find the kilometer in there. So these are the length, say in kilometer. So you can easily find this data. So you have already data. So you're building the database of this whole system. Then you can analyze. Then you can identify then which rail line has the highest length. For example, this in this region. So this rail line, for example, this name is D line. So D line has the this one, E line. So E line has the highest length of this region, right? So you can easily identify, you can easily analyze this data using the ArcGIS. So this is the way how you can build your database, how you can edit your database, how you can remove. So if you want to remove this data, for example, this is the error data, right? So which one is this one? Then you can also delete this. So here delete selected, it will be deleted. Don't worry about that. You can remove, you can add, you can edit. So whatever you want, you can do that using this technique. So this is the way how to build a database, how to edit, and how to delete, how to input data, something like this. So you have to save. Okay, stop editing. Okay. So in this part, we will see how to analyze the database. How to analyze this data. We might have several thousands of database, several even millions of data points, right? So how we can analyze those data? There are some techniques. Definitely, ArcGIS is much more clever than us. Okay, so for analysis part, we have to learn about small programming. We have to learn basic SQL language. So SQL is a SQL. So what is SQL and how we will learn this? It's very easy. It's very clear, and I will make you. I hope you will understand from this lecture what is SQL and how you will analyze those data using this SQL language. Okay, so I'm gonna teach you about this. So what is SQL? SQL is a standard language for accessing and manipulating database. Okay, there are several statements of SQL data. Select. So, what does the select statement do? So from the name select, it is very clear that what does select do, right? Select means how to select something, how to select or specific things. For example, we want to select a data. For example, if we are given a database of a city of the world, then we want to select a city where the population is less than 1 million and where the education percent is 99%. So several conditions, you are given several conditions where the population is um, less than 1 million. Second condition, where the uh, uh, education rate of education is about 90%, and where the net income about for example $1,000 per month, for example. Okay, so if you're given several conditions, so you want to select those cities, so you can analyze those. So you can analyze, uh, you can get those cities using the select statement. So what is select statement? Okay, select statement is nothing but to select something according to your preference. So how to use this statement? Okay, for example, how to use this statement? Select column name. In this lecture we have already seen this. We can make this some columns, right? So for the line we have already created two columns, length column and this name column. Okay, so if you want to select those cities, then the education date is column, its name is a column, and its population, number of population is also column. So we have to select column names from table names. So each shapefile represents a table. For example, the rail line shapefile is represents a table. Its name is rail line, p rail line. Okay, and p borehole is the table whose name is p borehole. Okay, so for example, this is the table called person. Okay, so here in this table we have three databases. For example, it's id, name, role, department, and session. Id 1 to 3, name, we have three students information, right? Sabir Ahmed, Mehdi Hassan, Farnesan. And according to this role, 1001, 1002, 3002, respective department, something like this. So we use the following select statement: select ID, name from person. What do you expect? If we write this, select ID, that means ID. Okay, name, this name, only two columns, from person, that means person table. So what do you expect? We will get this ID, name, So 2 columns. Okay. So select statement is a statement where using this statement we can easily get our desired data. Okay. Select star. So for example, uh, we have a thousands column of a data, for example, of a student, right? So how we cannot write thousands columns name. Okay. So that's why we have another options, star. We can use star to select all columns. If we write select star from persons, then uh, then we can get all the columns of that table. For example, if we write select star from persons, then what will be the answer? The whole table. The whole table will come here. Because select star, that means all the columns. All the columns will come here. Okay. The where statement is very crucial and very important statement of SQL language, where we can put our conditions here. For example, I've already seen we want to see those cities having population less than 1 million, where uh, and education is up to 90%, and net GDP, net income is less than 1000, something like this. Okay, so we have three statements. So using where we can define our conditions. For example, if we select star means the all column will come from select star from persons. So from the persons all columns will come here, where id is equal to 1, right? So we want uh, that information where id is 1. Okay, so we put id is equal to 1 and star. So star and where. So using those two conditions, we'll get only one information of Mr. Ahmed. Okay, so I think you understand this. Another information, and the statement, and, or, like, not. These are the same things. And means we, if we want to put several conditions, then we can and use and. If you want to use either this one or that one, then we can use or if you do not want this, as for example, if you uh, do not want this column but others column, then you can use or not. Another important thing is like. What is like? For example, if we want to select all the students having a name started with G or started with M, something like this, then we can use the like. Okay. For example, select star from persons, where select star, that means all column will come from person, where what is the condition, where department like D%, that means department department name started with G will come. So uh, these are the output results. Use of and or not. For example, select star from employees. For example, is another table employees, where hire date greater than or less than 1 June 1992 and hire date less than. Then what you will expect? If you replace or instead of them, then what will this? Select star from person where not like. You have to solve this. You can you have to solve these puzzles. You have to solve these puzzles as well. Okay, let's get back to our ArcGIS, where we can analyze those data. Okay, so for your convenience, I have added a data of earthquake of this region, where the many columns and many hundreds of data is available. So from those thousands of data, hundreds of data, so how you can get your desired data. For example, if you right click here and open activity table, you will see there are lots of data here. There are about 3, 4, 8 data, right? And against each data there are many columns here. So if you want, for example, if you want those magnitudes having if you want those earthquakes having magnitude greater than 5, now you can do this. Select, you have to go table option and you have to select by attributes. How we can do that? So here is statement select star, that means all columns will be available here from earthquake, because this shapefile represents a table called earthquake where, and where you have to put your condition. So you want magnitude, you want those earthquakes having magnitudes greater than 5. So magnitudes, right click here, greater than 5. So you write 5. Okay. So if you press apply, then you will see 31 earthquakes have been selected out of 348 earthquakes. These, and if you select these options, show selected records, and this option will show all records. So if you show selected records, then you will see all the earthquakes having magnitudes greater than 5. Okay, so these are the options. So okay, I'll see another option. For example, we have another table called IEM. Right? I don't know what is this is, but if you want to okay, let's see. If you want those earthquakes having IEM name started with F, so you can click like inverted comma, okay, percent and F. So if you put small f, then what you will see? Nothing, 0. But if you, because there is no IEM started with small f, and if you put here capital F, what you will see? Yes, you will get those earthquakes having started with IMF. So you will get the 65 earthquakes. So you can analyze those data this way. So if you want other way, for example, if you want magnitude 5 and greater than magnitude 5 and greater than less than magnitude 1, then you'll get the magnitude greater than 5 if you press, and magnitude less than 3. Okay, so two conditions here. Okay, let's see. No, nothing. Nothing here. Oh, okay, so if you want other things, magnitude greater than 5 and uh, IEM like, sorry, IEM like started. Okay, so you want condition, right? So you want those earthquakes having magnitude greater than 5 and IM name like start with F. So if you press here, so you will get the 9. These are having magnitude greater than 5 and you'll get IM name started with F. So, and if you want another condition, if you want to put another condition and um, depth, so you want only the depth greater than 30, greater than 33. Okay, so depth greater than 30. So you will not get this data. Yep, so you'll get this data. So if you want greater than 33, then you'll only this data. So you have one condition here. You want those earthquakes having magnitude greater than 5. You want those earthquakes having IEM name started with F and depth greater than 3. So you will get the 3 data out of 3, 4, 8 earthquakes. So this is the way how to select, how to analyze your data. Okay, I hope you understand this, and we have to conclude this lecture today. and thank you very much. And hope we will see you again in next lecture.